The gaffes. He's actually shown some this president is holding forth. His penchant for bloopers still makes them nervous. The president himself once called them Joe's rhetorical flourishes, like this one.
If we do everything right, if we do it with absolute certainty, there's still a 30% chance we're going to get it wrong.
The gaffes. He's actually shown some displeasure with you in public.
That's true. That had happened in the past. And quite frankly, the president said to me he was sorry that it was taken out of context, his body language on one of those cases.
His body language when Mr. Biden made fun of the Chief Justice's flubbing at the inaugural swearing-in of the president.
My memory is not as good as Justice Roberts.
The president moves in with a disapproving tap and a tight-lipped grimace. Do you talk it out, take them to the woodshed, or are you candid enough with each other?
We are, actually. And if Joe was off message on a particular day, usually I don't have to bring it up. He's the first one to come to me and say, you know what, I'm not sure that's exactly how we want to position ourselves. The flip side is if I'm off message, he's not going to be bashful about saying, you know, Mr. President, I think,
really?
You know, we might want to steer more in that direction.
Does it make me susceptible to being a target? Yeah, it does.
A little bit of lampooning kind of stuff?
You know, much of the ridicule of me is well-deserved.
The vice president gets especially high marks as a team player. For those who predicted he and the Secretary of State would be rivals, they both say, And in fact, they meet for a policy breakfast every Tuesday.
He has been at the highest levels of American foreign policy decision-making, and we all listen to him.
Mr. Biden prides himself in knowing how the world works. So what about the criticism that the president's been too chummy with some of our adversaries? The Republicans are hammering away on this handshake that the president had with Hugo Chavez, and whether it conveyed some kind of lack of toughness on his part.
Do you think Hugo Chavez or anyone else in the world thinks that Barack Obama shaking hands with a man who's invited to a conference with him, who's president of another country, who walks up to him and shakes his hand, do you think they think that's weakness? I think it expresses confidence.
And then there's something else that's bubbling. And this is a direct quote from Dick Cheney saying that he finds it disturbing that Mr. Obama apologizes all the time. Our enemies will be quick to take advantage of a situation if they think they're dealing with, quote, a weak president.
Look,